Calling all beings. Calling all beings.
Can anybody give me an amen over here for calling all beings? Yes! Amen, party people. Welcome back to Calling All Beings. I'm your host, DJ, and you know what? We got the street background here because we got some real pipe hitting in the chat tonight and in the studio tonight. So we're going to get up into it, but before we introduce our very special guest, let me intro my co-collaborator, my co-host, the woman who we call Massachusetts' answer to Helen of Troy, Beatriz. What's up, homegirl?
Hey, how are you? Happy Sunday.
All right. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you.
You all right? No standouts today? You good?
No, yesterday was all day stand-up, so we're good today.
You didn't freeze your ass off. That's good.
I'm still frozen.
Except your feet, which apparently were over sweating. I don't know if you had electric socks on or not.
Yeah,
But all right, so I'm really excited to get to know our first guest because what I was told about her, well, first of all, it's cool that she's Jewish like me. Second of all, that she is one of the original gangsters in the movement supporting Turtle Boy and Free Karen Reed. So that to me is super compelling. So without any further ado, party people, put those hands together for Miss Jen Altman.
I'm sweating. That was a lot of stress.
We all good.
That was
Can anybody?
A lot of stress going on there.
Hey, we are good to go, Jen. We are cool. You're cool. Everything's good in the world, and we're just happy we made it. This happens on, I can't tell you how many dozens of shows this kind of stuff has happened with technical. Next time you come on and party with us, it's going to be easy speasy lemon squeezy. You feel me?
I hear ya. Be nice. It's my first time.
Everybody's going to be nice. This is a loving and wonderful chat, and anybody who's not, we just kick their ass out. They don't even get a number 2. So that's how it goes down in here. This is a really, really, these people are they just shower us with love. They're going to say Beatrice is beautiful like 17 times.
She is.
And then I'll say, okay, how about me? And then I'll get like a few of those kind of like, oh, I feel bad for DJ.
Okay,
He looks,
sure.
Sure, DJ, you're okay.
All right. You're
So,
okay.
Yeah. All right. This next lady has graced the screen on Cab for many, many occasions. So much so that we decided to make her own intro music, which I have clipped from YouTube. She has one of the absolute best shows on YouTube. She is a brilliant and intuitive and natural content creator that could probably give classes on this. And I would probably take that class. So we're going to play her song. She's going to come on and we're all going to kind of boogie a little bit to this, right? So party people, put your hands together for the return of my homegirl, Massachusetts own Nurse Kim.
Stop it.
Yeah.
The music.
It's coming right now. Here we go.
Ready? Got my Parkses.
Somewhere far along this road, he lost his soul to a woman so heartless. How could you
Kind of
be so
weak there.
heartless?
It's kind of weak.
It is.
Come on now.
So-
How could you be so dark to evil? You're bringing out a side of me that I don't
You hear it in
know.
my head.
I decided
Yes.
you won't go stick, so why
I
be
hear it,
up
Kimmy.
3 a.m. on the phone? Why do you be so mad at me for? Homie, I don't know, she is hot and cold. I won't stop, won't mess my
sunglasses.
groove up, cause I already know how this thing goes. You run and tell your friends that you're leaving me. You say that they don't
This is Mia Carruthers, baby, right here from the Cincinnati School of Arts and Music, way back when Nick Lachey had this show on MTV. So without any further, let's get them together, man. You know what the hell to do. Nurse Kim! Amen! Yeah!
Too kind, DJ. Too kind. Okay. That
did it.
is beautiful. And it was just a little light melody, a real instinct, okay, to that
A
music.
whisper. A
A
whisper.
whisper, if you will.
Wait a minute, was
love it.
there music playing? Because I didn't hear it.
Dude, it was, but it doesn't go any louder. I clipped it from YouTube. I literally, for Kim, I'm like searching MTV's archives. I searched YouTube, I searched Google, and I couldn't find the original track. I have like a software where I can clip anything and make it like an MP3 or a WAV file or whatever. And literally all I could find was a really weak YouTube of Mia Carruthers doing that song Heartless. So if I
I
you know
didn't
what,
hear
Kim?
a thing. I thought
you
y'all
hear
were
Bia?
being weird, just dancing to your own tune. So I
Did
joined
you
along.
hear it?
No.
Or no?
I heard it as
It was a
just
whisper.
little
was a
whisper in the
whisper.
back of my head,
All
right?
right, well,
Okay.
I was trying to wait for the good part. I was like, come on, it's coming, it's coming.
I'm in. But I
All
thank
right.
you. I thank you.
I will endeavor to see if I can
Make it louder.
I'll look. Well, I don't know if I can make that one louder, but I'll see if I can find a better quality track for Nurse Kim because let's
No.
face it, girlfriend deserve it. So,
Right? She's the only one that gets that song. I don't even get a
she
song.
does.
I would like to
look at me.
me. Well, Beatrice, you
Just
did
dig it.
definitely deserve a song, but I just was wondering, how'd you figure that one out? That Heartless would be my song.
I just wanted something that really had a cool hip hop groove and a beatbox. And Mia Carruthers, tell her that the other day we spent 10 minutes talking about Mia Carruthers. Did you remember, Bia? I told you all about the school
Yes.
and her as an artist on that show. But can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Maybe? Okay. And so that's why I just wanted something kind of cool hip hop beatbox for Kim. So
I love that.
All right. Well, I
Yeah,
heard it
so-
in my heart. It was
you
there, Kim. It was there.
It's my
In her
girl,
heart.
Altman. That's my girl.
That's awesome.
Oh, I've heard so many great things about you. So we're delighted to have you on. Here's the stop. Well, I'll stop doing the DJ. Start kind of like talking regular. But no, we're really delighted to have you on. We had heard that you were one of the originals. And before we get into kind of like tangents of the Karen Reed case, I'm wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about your entryway into this case and the sort of the driving motivation for you.
Well, I started following the case I remember hearing about it. We all heard about it and how terrible that she hit, her boyfriend. And obviously it must have been an accident, right?
Mhm.
And then when they upped her charges to murder, I thought, this is just weird. Like, why would she kill him? Like, what was this background? And so I started just following it a little bit more. I read the charging documents, and this was back in 2022. And then I kind of forgot about it because the mainstream media wasn't covering it, and I didn't know anybody that was, following it. Then must have been the end of March, April 2023, the House Long to Die in the Cold came out. So I started commenting on Facebook, and I was the only one commenting on Facebook that she wasn't guilty. That, and everybody was like, you're defending a fucking cop killer, fuck you. And Elizabeth Proctor would like laugh at my posts. And I didn't know who she was at that point. So then Natalie reached out to me, Natalie from California, and she sent me a message that said, hey, I'm a friend of Karen's. Thank you for your support. And we would chat back and forth. She would send me some pictures. I still didn't know all the players yet. And then Aiden, I think it was around April 16th or so, put out a little heading that he was working on this case, and it was in the news. So I thought, oh, it must be that case. So I messaged him and said, hey, and I'd, been reading Aiden for years. We've been friendly for years. I said, hey,
Really?
yep. Since about 2018 or 2019. And it was just very, I was a fan and he was a writer, and we would exchange some messages and things like that. And I said, hey, this girl reached out to me. She said she's a friend of Karen's. Do you want me to connect the two of you? And he said, sure. And then, so I connected them. They started talking. Then I was kind of like pushed out of the messages, which was fine with me because Aiden was working on a case. And the next day, he wrote his first story about this. Just the world exploded.
Yeah.
What day was that? Like what?
April
you-
18th, I think. 17th or 18th of 2023.
2023.
Yeah,
Okay,
excuse
yeah,
me.
'cause
I've got
it
a
was
little bit of a cold, so.
No,
Huh?
that's okay. That's okay, love. So that was when, and then, but your involvement with him, what happened then? Did you guys start to coordinate?
No. In
No?
fact, I didn't really talk to him for about from about April to October. I mean, I supported him. I read him. We'd exchange some messages. I'd say, "Hey, this was great and interesting," and we'd chat a little bit. But no, there was no like conspiracies to intimidate witnesses or do this or do that. I mean, I just kind of watched as an outsider, like everybody else did. And then when Aiden got arrested, is kind of where I picked it up a little bit.
Were you surprised? First of all, let me just, before I ask this next question, which is going to go to both Jen and Kim, I want to say, so Jimmy basically had something that he needed to do tonight. He had an engagement that he had
Yeah.
to take care of, and so he couldn't be here. So I'm sorry you're not going to see the handsome Jimmy. I was pretty excited to see his hair because I was going to kind of like be like,
He's just got like curly hair on top. It's very like boyish. I saw him last week. We went and had a pizza night, and
Wha-
he's just like a little boy. I love him.
wow.
He's a handsome boy.
He is a
I'm
handsome boy. He
I'm
looks like my
jealous.
son, actually. If you
Really?
put our pictures next to each other, he looks like he could be my kid.
No, he does. He well, he
does.
looks like he
Wow.
could be your little brother, but yes.
Well, I'm old enough to be his mother, so. But little brother is good.
Don't get it twisted here. I'm jealous of both of getting to hang out with you two and being able to have pizza, especially if you guys went to a legit pizza shop. That's kind of like the greatest thing ever.
You guys started your own dive bar pizza last week, right? I saw
Yeah.
the pictures. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
the
Out
people
in
in
Worcester.
Central Mass started it,
Yeah.
and I think it was just originally meant to be for the people that go to the standouts.
Yeah.
And they invited me and Jimmy, so we went. And then when we posted about it, there's like 100 people that want to go, so I think they're going to pick it up and make it a weekly thing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And there is the legend wants to say hi to you, Dennis Sweeney. The
Hello,
handsome.
Dennis.
And my two Colorado homies that live here with me, Melissa with one ass, and Ernie Birdie. So what's up, homegirls? I'm waiting for our free Karen Reed get together in Colorado. We need to stretch it all the way out till we get to California, till they're having these out there.
Let's go. I got my sign. I'm ready. I got my original sign, so let's go. We'll stand up. We'll have a standout anywhere, anytime, any place.
Look at that. John's here. There he is.
Oh, hi, John.
There's
Hi,
a
John.
sexy beast, Canton sex symbol. John
Yes.
Camo. Man, now I totally blew.
John, your
What
chest
question?
hair last night was actually the main event, okay?
Yes.
No one could concentrate on what you were saying because the chest hair said it all.
The John
okay?
in the
Never put it
bathtub.
away.
The John in the bathtub after, Jimmy's, that left me a little scarred. A little bit. Just a little.
You guys stop making fun of John's chest hair. It's a beautiful thing. John, I support you being as natural
love
as you
it.
like.
We love
Love
it.
it.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, actually, if it's a little patchy, then I don't know what was going on with you in the shower and Paula. I don't know what's happening there. Anyway.
She said hot tub, not shower.
Oh, that's right. I know John.
Hot tub.
He gave me a whole thing about his hot tub, And I want to say this, since Christina's in here, I want to say this because Christina's in here and Dennis is saying hi to her. And somebody chastised her in a chat last night for saying, "You're from Indiana, your opinion doesn't count." And I just want to say that that's really kind of like BS. It's not kind of like, it is BS, because this is a woman who's in these chats, who lives and dies with this every day, and it doesn't matter your geographic location. We need every single soldier we can get in this battle, because as I said in the tweet the other day, the McAlberts have the high ground. You know, they have the DA, the MSP, they have the CPD, they have Judge Bev, you know, so they have the high ground. So we can't lose any soldiers that we have. So
Yeah,
welcome,
don't push them
Christina.
away.
Yes, thank you. We really appreciate you being here. And here's Kersey Nursey. This is Jen, who we got to meet at the Meal of Food. And I'm going to tell you, one of the most fun people was Jen and her husband. Were just an absolute riot. Oh, can anybody give me an amen for Jimmy?
Ooh!
Sorry.
I love
Yeah!
you, Jimmy.
One second.
Okay. He's with JFK right now.
There's a recent outbreak of Giardia, so I had to come masked up. I'm very sorry. But I took a few minutes, okay, and I wanted
I
to come
can't
say
hear
hi.
you.
We can't hear
Yeah,
you.
there's
Your
feedback.
microphone.
Terrible.
Terrible?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's going on with your microphone?
Is that better?
No.
No, there's a feedback. Can you try to come out and come back in, sir?
Giardia. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Namaste. All right.
I think it was
And
the
our-
little
and-
dingy microphone.
And you know our mystery guest is coming up in 4 minutes.
Ah,
Ooh.
ooh.
You guys didn't know
Ooh.
about that? Yeah.
Is
We've
it
got
Robert
mystery.
Alessi? Is it Alessi?
Oh my God. Oh my God. If it was Robert Alessi
Imagine.
and his lovely head of curly hair. He looks very sort of Julius Caesar, maybe. In
And
his
that
younger days.
windbreaker that he wears.
Yes.
Mm.
Listen to
I
me.
love
That windbreaker was protecting him from more than the wind, baby. Okay, in my home. I said, is it raining? Is it pouring? The old
What is happening?
Man is
pouring,
snoring.
okay, I was pouring, ready to go. I love a man in a windbreaker.
Love that. Love that windbreaker.
I didn't even know that because I brought one to the Meal of Food. Who would have known that Kim might have been triggered by that? Jeez.
Oh.
Okay.
Listen, it was her birthday. It was her birthday. She didn't have time for that.
I'm skiing in Vermont. I don't have time for yous, okay? It's one of my last chances before my knees totally blow out. I know.
I am old. Okay, 39 was my last chance. Okay, and
39.
listen, it could have been a knee.
39.
I could have a hip problem. We don't know how this would be going in a couple of
39.
years. But I was trying to pick up Chloe too. You know, recon mission.
Were you going to steal Chloe and bring her back to Mass so that you?
Were you going to be checking out her teeth? I
That
just
was
want
it.
to know.
That's it. I
Okay,
was going
just
to do the
checking.
teeth impressions. I said, I don't trust you.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't trust
Yeah.
you, Brennan. I'm bringing her to my own. I'm bringing her to Tewksbury. She's going right to my, my veterinarian. And we
Yeah.
have this all handled.
Yeah.
There
Is
it
this better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All better, baby.
Okay. I had a free minute, so I wanted to come say hi.
Thank you, brother.
Spread awareness
Thank
about Giardia through
All right,
just
Jimmy.
spreading awareness. But I gotta let everyone know.
You know, we used to.
Yep.
I got
Karen
Reed
Reeds to free. Yes. Amen.
So I would just like everyone know that you gotta free your Karen Reeds. Okay, Giardia doesn't want you to, but you can. So you do it however you can. I'm gonna be selling. I got Karen Reeds to free shirts. $20.
Good job,
Venmo,
Jimmy.
boom, you get a shirt. All goes to Karen.
Love it.
Love it.
We're freeing our
Oh,
Karen
my
Reeds.
goodness. Love
I
this.
gotta run. Giardia is spreading so quick. You guys have no idea. It's in chat rooms. It's everywhere. So I love
Jimmy,
everyone. Yes.
Can I
Yes.
just caution you against when I know you're probably hiking and you went down to cup a drink of water, with your hands, but now you got to use the iodine pills, man. You can't do it anymore.
You'd think, but it's now taking a different form. Twitter and then chat rooms. Big Giardia outbreak. So that is where I gotta, just stay away from because that's where the Giardia wants me to not free my Karen Reeds. You know what I mean?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
I love
sir.
you guys.
Thank you. Love you too.
Love
We
you.
love
Hope to
you.
speak with you
We
soon.
We
love,
love
you.
you.
That
I kind
was
of had
so
a feeling
awesome,
he
man.
was going to make a little pop in. I don't know why. I kind of thought it.
That made my night right there, man. We can't miss
Same,
An
that.
same.
angel.
So anyway, getting back, well, let me let Beatrice get in here with a question so I don't take up all the air in the damn room. Let me get my co-host in here.
All right, who am I addressing this question to?
Anybody?
Anybody? All right. What do we think? Green is in or green is out?
Oh, in.
In.
Oh, in. Definitely in.
And
Yep.
speaking of green right now, we have a chat from Mary Malaki. Happy Sunday
My mother.
to DJ Beatrice and my favorite adopted daughter and favorite adopted GDB. Love your faces. Thank you, Mary Malaki.
Thank you,
appreciate it,
Mary.
love.
Hi, Mary.
I'm going to be sending Mary Malaki flowers on Mother's Day because she is my adopted mother. Petty Paralegal is my sister. Oh, here she is.
There she-
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. There. So I got him confused. Petty Paralegal is Jen. I get confused with the names versus Petty Paralegal is Jen. Okay. Sorry, Jen, if I called you Cursey Nursey M. I love all you guys anyway, but you're the one I get to meet. And here is, let's see. Oh, she's saying hi to everybody in the chat, which is a whole slew of people. Thank you,
All
everybody.
these people.
Yeah, we just didn't have time to get to all of you, but hopefully later in the show, because we're gonna open it up so you can ask questions. Oh, here's the first one. I love Beatrice. See, there it's just gotten started. So how was skiing though, Kim? Was that all right? Like,
Yeah, we go to the same place every year, and it's good. I love it. The girls don't want to do, they're teenagers now, and like, yeah, like if I was cool, they'd want to do it with me, but they don't. So it's just a little bit of fun, a little bit of off the grid time, and then right back at it.
and so they don't know that there are like 5,000 plus 6,000. I don't even know how many. You might have 10,000 followers for all I know that on YouTube that love you. Like they're not aware of that. You have 10,000.
No,
You
they
just went over
don't. They don't
10,000.
care. Okay, they think that I am their mother, and they think that I'm just as lame as it could be. So like, ew, mom, ew. Oh. And then they're like, "Oh, are you going to go on your little friend show? Going to go on your little friend show? Going to go on your own show, ma?" I'm like, but who they do think is cool is Jimmy. Okay,
Of
they think
course.
they're like, Jimmy ate that, or Jimmy slayed with that, and I'm like,
Yes.
oh my god,
With that
I'm
head
like,
of hair,
yeah,
I mean, what a handsome dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And anybody give me an amen
He's
for
the
Jimmy.
best. He's
Anybody.
the best. He is the best.
human.
I'm
Thank
so
you,
happy.
Dennis.
I'm so happy that he forced his way into my life.
Yes, yes.
Forced his way.
Non-consensually.
He was a
did.
non-consensual addition to my life as well. Now I can't
Yeah.
imagine it without him.
Right.
Oh man, here's him. And I want to say something about you, Kim. I'm gonna star this one. Oh, okay. I need sleep, so I'll catch you tomorrow. Great seeing Jen on her first in-person live. Can I get an amen for Jen Altman, one of the original gangsters? in
I
this
love
movement?
Laura. We've spoken many times for years, and she's awesome.
And thank you much for the £10. I'll catch this tomorrow. Great seeing Jen on her first in-person live. Have fun. So there you go. That's kind of like my Northern England one. I lived in England for 3 years. I just love the accents there. What I was going to ask, Kim, do you still have that background with Chloe sitting on the beach towel next
I
to
do.
you? Oh,
Of course I do. You hold please.
I thought I was going to pee in my pants the first time because you didn't like mention. Ah!
Ooh, and she's quick with it too.
Look at Chloe, baby, and her yellow, she wore an eeny weeny teeny weeny red polka dot. She's got
Oh my God.
opposable thumbs. She's texting her girlfriends. She's got her red Solo cups. She is down the Cape, okay, and she's living her best life in this photo.
I just want to say.
Do you think she's in South Yarmouth?
She is.
Okay.
I did a
Thank you,
GPS
Laura.
tracking. She is. Yeah. Mhm.
I just want to say thank you everybody for your generosity. You guys are like so dope and so awesome. That someone said that sounded Scottish. All right, yeah, sometimes I will commingle Northern England, Ireland, and Scotland. So forgive me because I don't want to get shanked when I go on vacation there. So anyway, the peanut butter kills me.
I know. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I have the peanut
Oh,
butter.
now
That's
I
the
see
one,
it.
and the other one. Ready? Watch. I got another one. Hold, please. Let me hit you guys with a little. Look at what she can do. Looky. Oh, just
Like,
kidding.
who do you
No.
think you are?
Yeah, I'm wondering,
I have
like,
no idea. Okay, it should be illegal. Virtual bet. Here it is. Ready? On your mark. Get set. Sometimes, Chloe baby goes right here.
yeah.
Sometimes she goes there, and in this, if this was like a full picture of it, like if it was just me on the screen, you would see there's open peanut butter containers that she's been clearly making sandwiches, driving a truck. Hilarious.
I
She
think
drove herself home from Vermont. Okay, I was shotgun.
She's driving.
I hope we at least
Franken
get to punch one Proctor today.
Oh. Of course,
I mean-
of course we shall.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm not going to be able to gather myself with you guys. I'm going to try. Kim, the thing that's really interesting about you that I noticed when I talked to a number of different ladies in the movement, that is this sort of really strange gift. And I ask them this question, and they're of different ages, from like in their 30s to their 60s. All these women can imagine themselves sitting down and having a cup of coffee with you.
And it's her humor too. It's like
Oh.
she has the brains, she has the friendliness, and
The beauty,
the beauty, everything. She's the whole package.
She's the best. So when we went to the fundraiser, we didn't know who was going to be there. And I was sitting at a table diagonal to Kim. And I remember sitting there and I was like full on conversation with Deanna, I think. And I was like, oh my God, there's Nurse Kim. Bye. And I just made my way right over there to meet her. And
Isn't
she's
that
just
what
the
happened?
same.
Yeah, isn't that what yeah, so she was what you thought she would be, somebody you want to go out and like sit at Starbucks and have a cup of coffee with and probably laugh your ass off, right?
It's so funny too, but like that happens in my real life to people that like don't even like that don't think I'm Nurse Kim or think anything of me, right? Like I've just like my whole life, my mom has said this to me too. Like I'll be in market, like I could be at the grocery store, right? And somebody will like talk to me, like an elderly gentleman will be like, "You remind me of my wife," and like what, like they needed to talk to me for whatever reason, and they just like.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh my God, I don't know why I just told you all that." Like while we were standing in line, and I'm just like, "Oh no, I'm just thankful that you clearly needed to talk to me, and I'm here to listen to you." And it's just kind of a thing. It's a weird thing. I remember at the fundraiser, one of our friends, Mrs. Parks, was taking all these pictures of people with me. And she was like, "How do you know everyone that's here?" And I said, "Poxy, I don't know any of these people, any of them." And I just was like, giving hugs and like, and they were like, "Kim." And, she was like, she thought for sure that she was taking pictures of me with my girlfriends that she was going to send to me later. She was like, "I didn't know you knew everyone." And I was like, I don't know anyone. Just Jimmy.
Just Jimmy.
And Kelly.
So like Beatrice, that's the gift, right? We're going to get to you guys that are making these incredible donations, but I just want to finish this conversation. Bea, that is the gift, right? I even asked you this question.
I know, because I feel like I know her and I don't know her. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I think you're very, I don't know, you're just the whole package. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's true, Larry.
I don't mean to embarrass you, I swear, but like this was like bucket list for Beatrice to be on air with you. Like when she
Oh, don't embarrass. Hold on. You're making me nervous now.
Yeah, she's like,
put your proxies on. Look, I'm gonna put mine on. Are you kidding me? Let's hide. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll hide behind our proxies, and I think Beatrice, I wanted to say thank you so much to you, like personally from me to you, because
Thank you.
I saw every single time that like you were anywhere, you were so kind to say, "Hey, if you are available or you were interested in donating $3.90 for Nurse Kim's birthday," like
Shit.
your voice and you continuing to do that for me. I saw you, I see you, and that was
Thank you.
I appreciated that more than I can even say to you. And then like
Oh,
for us
thank
to
you.
do what we were able to do for Karen, in those in 10 days, like it was incredible. And I tag team and thank you from the bottom of my heart for that.
Oh, no problem. It didn't seem like a big ask, and I just wanted to see you meet that goal, and I'm so happy that you did. That was awesome.
And in a
It was
second here, I want to recognize the folks who just made donations. But Kim, we're going to ask you to tell us about Jen Altman here in a second, so you can
Oh,
start kind of
no.
like ruminating on that.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm gonna say so. Yes, oh yes. You know what? We're as honored to have you here as we are to
oh
have
yeah,
Kim here. I got news for you, girlfriend.
very much.
You were,
Well, it's all her fault that I'm here because she made a suggestion and then I
yes, she
was
did.
hoping nobody would see it. And next thing I know, like 5 minutes later, you're messaging us. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, some like one of the mods. I don't think it was. I think it was Miss Jessica. Is like, hey, she's like, yeah, I think I heard them suggest doing a roundtable, Jimmy and all that. And I said, on here, like not on this show. I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, I'll do that. So Kim knows I love to do roundtables. I started doing them for MMA like 15 years ago. One of my mentors was a guy named TJ DeSantis, who's on. He does some UFC broadcasts, but he was a podcaster, and he's the one who kind of taught me how to do roundtables, and I basically used his format. So he's a genius, and I'm really happy that he's been so successful. All right, so we did Mary Milaki, we did Laura, and now we have Kathy O'Grady. Kim, you're coming to the blanket making fundraiser. I have a 6-foot proctor for you to punch.
Kathy O'Grady, listen to me, okay? You got a 6-foot proctor for me to punch a proctor? Babe, when is it? I'll be there with
It's
bells on.
February 22nd, Kim. I'm going to.
Oh, okay. Listen, I got to check with the secretary, i.e., my children, and to make sure that I don't have to be a chauffeur for the teens, okay? But if I do not have a volleyball or if I do not have a tournament or something that I need to attend, I am there, okay? Promise.
Dig it. 6-foot proctor. And I'll tell you, have you dialed back your Massachusetts accent tonight? I'm not hearing that almost Colleen O'Neill level. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to, you know, now you're on
Ooh, she
mute.
muted herself.
You muted yourself, Kim.
You're
What's
muted,
happened,
Kim.
love? You mute. Oh, we got our special guest is here. I want to just say real quickly, thank you, Kathy O'Grady. Hey, Megan, thank you so much for the 5 memberships. Namaste. We were 30 memberships away from 7,000, which is the most we've ever had on Cab. Thank you, Melissa with one ass. Thank you so much for 10 memberships. Namaste. You can tell me, yoga teacher. And Sherry Dizzle, my mod. What? Sherry? Thank
Kim,
you,
you're
love.
muted.
Sorry.
Kim is muted.
There you go.
Oh, you're muted, Kim. Now you're back, love. And here is Sherry Dizzle doing another 10. Sherry, put your wallet away. Thank you, though. Thank you so much, love. All right. So we have a special guest that we decided to bring on for you guys. Somebody who I believe is a hero in the community because she took a chance when she saw that there was some sort of chicanery going on between the Stoughton District Court with Chris Albert filing for a restraining order, and that there was some sort of conspiracy going on with Ken Mello and Trooper, is it Fanning or the other, or no, Brian Tully, and of course Lindsay Gaetani. And couldn't.
You're not bringing up Kate Peter, are you?
No.
No.
Oh my God, are you kidding? You're joking.
I'd be
right?
like, peace out.
Wait a minute. You are.
I'm taking my signs.
She is kidding.
You
She's
are joking.
hilarious. We love
You are
Jen.
joking, right? Yeah. There is zero chance that she. Not only I wouldn't even say her name on air. Never mind bring her on the show. Like, She has
Yeah, she's
this
gross.
show would end before, like for good, before I would ever bring her on. This young lady right here uncovered the conspiracy, and right now she's looking at maybe taking some sort of legal action. But she was an employee of the Stoughton District Court, and
Oh,
she is none other than Michelle Littlefield. Put your
Michelle.
hands together. Can anybody give me an
Michelle.
amen for Michelle Littlefield?
Hi,
Amen.
Michelle.
Thank you
Welcome,
for
Mom.
letting that pause happen between me and Jimmy, because I did not want to follow him.
I
just
don't either. Did you see his hair?
so awesome. Like I love him. Yeah. Thank you for giving me that space.
Absolutely. We didn't know. We didn't know that he was coming. He said he had something to do tonight. He has Giardia. Apparently, you know what happens? You go, he's out searching for Bigfoot.
Contagious.
He's hiking, and you drink from a stream, and next thing you know, you don't have the iodine pills for your canteen. You got Giardia. Or at least that's what they taught us in survival school. So Michelle Littlefield, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So I want to open this up for Kim, Jen, and Beatrice. If you have any questions, there are certain areas of this she's going to stay away from because she is going to seek legal action against the termination and its reasons. And I got to spend about an hour and change with Michelle on the phone, and then I got to talk to her and her husband DJ today.
I have my own
but,
DJ.
You do.
Everyone needs a DJ.
I'm telling you, and they are so much alike. It's a little weird. It's a little weird, which is why I was actually comfortable coming on here, was because they are so much alike. It's bizarre.
I couldn't believe when you contacted me, I was like, this is not happening. I was like pinching myself. So, and we got a hold of Melanie, and they're going to talk. That's where we are right now.
So
Oh,
we've been
good.
working on something in the background for about 6 months now anyway. So
Oh, good.
we're ready to rock and roll. We just got to find the right people to rock with. So we're looking, that's where we're at this point. So there's a lot of things I can't say, but yeah, ask away.
And I know you had questions for these guys. So if you don't have any questions, I will ask. But go ahead, please. No?
Go ahead,
Me to
Jen.
ask?
You have
I
something.
ask? Jen's a rock star. First of all, can I just say that that's like the first thing I do in the morning is check Twitter, because I know she's got some stuff on there that's going to get my day off to a good start. So yeah, Jen.
Thank you. Yeah.
Michelle, I know it's been really difficult for you.
It has.
For you to talk about this emotionally. That was a large part of it. Can you
Right.
sort of share with people what caused that emotional? What aspect of this caused that emotional injury?
Well, there was a lot of things that had gone on in that court for months that I had concerns with, and so just the way the whole thing kind of shook out, there was definitely some things going on behind the scene, both with the district attorney's office and with the clerk's office, that subsequently came to light after I was suspended, that confirmed what I had already thought. So it's going to be interesting to see the way this all shakes out. One of the things that the first reason I didn't come forward was they had Aiden's phones. And I knew that if I had any contact with him, it had to be direct contact. I couldn't message anybody. I couldn't. And it seemed like, and I think I said this to you, DJ, it seemed like anytime I was ready to reach out to somebody, they got flaky and weird. And you see all these things that are going on with all these personalities. And I thought, yeah, I've got to just one-on-one find my way directly to Aiden. And it was scary. Like honestly, there was a period of time that I was very concerned that I would be the next Janelle, that they were going to take charges out against me. I thought for sure I was going to be, charged with some sort of conspiracy or something like that. And the truth is, I did nothing wrong. Everybody knows I did nothing wrong. So that was like my saving grace, was I knew I had not done anything wrong. I had never, until September of 2024, just this past September, a few months ago, I had never, ever had direct contact with Aiden. So I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. I knew I hadn't released anything that was confidential. I knew that was a public record. I had 30 years experience as a private investigator before I went to work for the court.
How about
Oh,
that,
wow.
baby? How
Oh,
about
wow.
that?
I
Didn't know
know
that.
my laws. I hate to sound, arrogant about it, but I've been in the field for a long, long time, and I know my laws, especially the public records laws. Very, very.
Be arrogant. Be arrogant about it. That's
I try not to. But,
it's okay.
Yeah, and she has a group that I guess she researches legal cases. She has a group
Yeah.
of people that she does that with now. Even still, Michelle does. But yeah, she's a badass that was out in the field doing investigate. Well, you might not say it. I'm gonna say it for you. But the people here are speaking. You're seeing it right here from Valhalla Law. She is the official attorney of Calling All Beings. What's up, homegirl? She's a retired Massachusetts attorney. Cheech is saying that. I think Rich Schiffer is here. Thank God Rich Schiffer was able to get by that.
You know something? My husband and I are coming to meet you soon.
No.
I'll tell you.
He's
He
awesome.
won the
We
dinner
meet-
with Karen.
Yes.
Oh, who did?
Rich
Rich.
Schiffer, he's one of the people. So yay.
Oh my gosh, Rich, if you need a date, I'm your girl. I am your girl.
I'll be her backup.
I would love that. But no, honestly,
I can be a third.
We should
There you
put
go.
together a
Thruple.
networking group of all the Free Karen Reed supporters, because one of the things, I've been friends with Erica from the Star Drive-In for years, like way before this all started, and because we live in the same area. But we should definitely have some sort of networking group, because there's a lot of different businesses and people that support Karen. And for example, my husband and I have needed a fence for a year. And I said to him he said, we're going to do it this summer. And I said, well, we're not going anywhere but to Rich Schiffer. I'm only going to Canton Fence. I will not consider doing business with anyone else at this point. So I just think that we have to support each other for sure.
Yeah.
Here, I'll put this
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
Rich.
that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
He handed me
where's all
these.
my ducks?
I got these directly from him.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh
The
my gosh.
color.
So, I don't know. Can I turn this a little bit? Is there
Yeah, let me
anything?
get
I have a
these- let me
whole,
see
I
if I
won't
get
do it
these
because
guys
this
on
is my
screen.
fault.
Here's
I have a
one.
whole collection of ducks. My favorite one
I've
though,
got my
and I think I
American
gave
duck.
one to Rich. Where's my finger one?
And
Forever,
yeah,
Ducky, you're
I
the
want-
one. Oh, yes, that's my favorite.
that
little
one's
middle
really
finger.
adorable.
Trish gave me this one.
Oh,
with
that's
the glasses.
fantastic.
Awesome.
That is
So-
awesome with the hair.
When this was all going down with, and one of the things that I wanted to say was, I would not have known that there was anything going on with any restraining orders, because my office was in the basement across from lockup. So I didn't have that interaction upstairs with the clerk's office. So the person who actually distributed both actually restraining orders, made copies upstairs and passed it out around the courthouse. That person then got promoted after
Shut up.
and now has my job.
Wow.
So this shit's gonna
That's
come
assault.
out, and it's
That is assault.
and there's so much more. There's so much more. I feel really sorry for the people that live in Canton, because there's people that live there amongst your midst that you don't realize have connections to all of this. And so that'll all come out at some point. I'm not going to start throwing names or disparaging anyone, but there's some real scumbags in your town that are really running things behind the scenes, and you're all starting to catch on. So I'm proud of you. And I know there's a lot of hurt feelings out there, but from day
Thank you,
one,
Liz.
Rita has been one of my heroes. Like, she really has, she speaks from the heart, and she sees the bigger picture. And that it's not just Canton, that this could be, that this is affecting the entire country, this mentality of we have to lay down and take it. And the fact that Canton is standing up and speaking out and not putting up with it, I'm hoping spreads nationwide. So
I'll tell you, there's definitely, I was at the standout yesterday, and we parked our cars on a dead end street, and literally the cops kept driving by and like going down the dead end street, and we were all like running because, I mean, look at what they did to
Yep,
Peter
and
Murphy.
that's why
Mr. Murphy. Yeah.
So we were, every time
They
the
did
cops
that
would
then.
come down. Yeah.
it's ugly. And I know from sitting in that seat in that clerk's office for as long as I did, exactly what goes on and who knows who and who does what and who comes sailing through that office with, free pass. So again, it'll all come out.
You know, I remember sitting and watching the special town meeting. And, I never watched a special town or any town meeting in my own town. And I'm laying on the couch one night listening to it and jumping up and just being so excited for Canton.
Me
and
too.
never knowing how this was going to end, how this was going to proceed, that there's such corruption
Yeah.
in that town that they're able to take a vote and totally throw it out. Like it doesn't matter. The people have spoken,
Yeah.
Hi, Boston Brandy. Thanks a lot for coming out. And Boston Brandy is one that's out there every weekend with Beatriz, and she's badass. And
It was very scary yesterday. She had the girls in the car, and this lady out of nowhere went up to her car and started banging on the door, telling
What's
the
wrong
girls
with
to get
people?
out. I know. And she just, mother's instinct. She just happened to be
Yeah.
walking back to her car. And she was just like, I'm going to go check on the girls. And all of a sudden, the girls ran out of the car towards her. And they were like crying. It was so sad. I'm
I
so
would say
sorry that happened.
I would say that person's lucky that Brandy didn't get there, because she probably would have beat that girl's ass, whoever did that. Me having got to sit down at a dinner table with her, she probably would have beat that girl's ass. So you're lucky she probably ran off like a little coward, which is what most of them are. And I want to say something else to that person who chastised Christina Rasmussen, or Christina Rasmussen, who's in the chat here, and said that she shouldn't weigh in with an opinion because she's not from around here. She's in Indiana. This is the stupid ass attitude of why the people in Canton think that if you're not from, like, if you're Karen, you're not from here, you're garbage, okay? You don't mean anything to us. Your life means nothing to us. O'Keefe means nothing to us because O'Keefe wasn't from here. He's from way down in Braintree. And obviously, those people aren't valuable. You're only valuable if you grew up here and your last name begins with an A and ends with a T. So, or some derivation or some, inbredness of the family, the McCabe's or whatever. So it's not about where you're from. Doesn't matter where you're from. Nobody gives a shit where you're from. You have value, Christina. You're in Indiana. You're supporting this movement. That's what's important. Just like, you have content creators like Kim. Okay, she's not a standout, but she's bringing this to, she's bringing this to YouTube for tens of thousands of people every week. You need that if you're standing on the ground. And she needs people supporting what she's doing in the chat. So it's a circular thing. And you don't have to be physically present at Legacy Place with a sign to matter, or be from Canton, because Beatrice is not from Canton. She's driving an hour and a half to get down there and do this. So just if you're cutting it down on somebody and think they don't matter because they're not geographically from Canton, then you're missing the point. You really are, and you're actually feeding into McAlbertism, because that is the basis for their whole protection and their whole conspiracy to protect these assholes. Family is because they're some Canton power family, like this is England in the 13th century. Jesus. So sorry, rant over. Let's continue.
And I'll just say this. One of the things that I had done was I had gone back and looked at some of your old roundtables. And I just happened to click on the one. I think it was like the Knights of Canton or something. And
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that was only a month ago. And I think some people should go back and watch that and try to recapture how they were feeling during that stream, because Tom got on there and he said all about everything was we are doing this. You're doing your part. You're doing your part. You're doing this. You're doing that. And everyone's doing their part. My friend Erica has a restaurant. She can't make it to those standouts, but she's doing her part. You know what I mean? So everyone has a role to play in the big picture. And as long as the bottom line is we're all here to support Karen and do whatever we can to make sure that she's exonerated. I'll never forget the day I met her. She came in the day she was arraigned in Stoughton to post her bail, and I was the person who took her bail. That was my role in the court as the head account clerk. And I knew that day. Karen and I graduated from the same high school, and someone I worked with also had a child who went to that high school. And that, when you go to that school, it's ingrained into you. You enter to serve. I'm sorry, you enter to learn and you leave to serve. And I just, something about Karen, I knew that she was a graduate from Coyle Cassidy. I knew that she stood there before me with her father, and I just knew instinctively she was innocent. I knew. You just can't not be in her presence and know, instinctively know that she is innocent. And from that moment on, it's, again, we all have to pull together and do our part.
You also mentioned.
Agreed.
I also. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead, Kim. If you had
Oh
something.
no, I just wanted to say, like, that's my experience too, Michelle. It was that, like, in the middle of the summer, Karen had gone out with Greg Hill and Courtney for a supper with them, and then Dave and I were invited, and unfortunately I was away. So Dave went, and when he came home from supper, right, it was a 4-hour dining experience, and I was blacked out. When I tell you that I left my own body, I was like, you just had a 4, counted 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. Like, I was like, I should have literally done anything to have attended. Anyway, long story short, he said to me that moment. Now, and Dave has always been somebody who, it was like kind of right down the middle, kind of with being like, well, I'll follow with it. He wasn't leaning to a different side. But at the end, after ARCA, he was like, yes, free Karen Read, 110%. He goes to dinner with her and goes, she needs to get on the stand. She needs to tell her story and tell what happened, because there is no way any jury would convict Karen Read. And I said, well, that's some shit, right? Because I was always free Karen Read, right? Like, as soon as it clicked with me that Officer John O'Keefe's injuries, that's where I have always been, as a registered nurse, as a wound certified registered nurse, with a legal consultant. I go, nah, this doesn't add up. I don't know what happened that night. I wasn't there. I'm not an investigator. Wasn't my friggin' job. So, but at the end of the day, I know, and I can logically rule out that Officer John O'Keefe was not struck by a vehicle in reverse at 24.2 miles an hour, sideswiped, pirouetted, and sustained the injuries in which he did that led to his death. Okay. And that's where my lane is. Now, Karen, meeting her, the only time I've ever met her was at the event. And I was immediate. Like, I was immediate. Her mother is my human. Okay. Her,
Lovely.
Mrs. Reed, I believe I was like, I embraced her, couldn't look at Mr. Reed. Why? Because I'm a weirdo. And he wore a turtleneck and he looked so handsome. I couldn't even make eye contact. I was like, you guys stay over there. I'm just here. And, but I had that feeling too. I met her. When I had the brief interactions and conversation we got to have with one another, I said, that is one of our best friends from out of town. And I am going to keep fighting until the wheels fucking fall off, because I won't stop. And that's my story. Bye, guys. Love you.
I felt the same way. I'd only met her that
No
one
mic
time.
drop. No mic drop, Kim.
I had only met her that one time as well, at the fundraiser. We had spoken through text and things, but that was the first time. And she knows your name.
Yes.
She knows everybody's name.
And when I met her, she literally just put her hands around me and we took a picture together. And I was like, I was like literally sweating. And I had a really nice conversation with Mr. Reed and Nathan, and they're the most genuine people. And every time I'm like, I am so sorry for what your family's going through. This is not right. And we're going to stand here with you and support you all the way. And they're so appreciative of
They're
all
lovely
the support.
people. Yeah, they're lovely people.
Yeah, and I've been trying to talk. People have tried to talk me out of it. My wife tried to talk me out of it, because of she's become aware of what's going on. I showed her some videos. I don't know if it was Microdots or Joe Flipperhead. I showed them. So she's kind of English is her second language, so she's not super fluent, but she's like, she's nodding her head. I understand now. I understand. And she tried to talk me out of this, and I'm just like, no, I'm staying with this till the end. When something happens, like what happened the other day, I don't sleep. Like I can't sleep. I keep waking up. I'm doing some courses for work online for Space Force, and I was like, I didn't even work on my stuff because it was all day with stuff that's going on here. So we really do care about it, and none of us are there are people that are doing content about this that don't really care about it, but they're a very, very small number. And Kim and the rest of us, we live and die with this thing, and we're gonna stay on it until she walks free, and then there is some sort of intervention in Canton, because as Terry Robbins told me, there are two distinct movements. Free Karen Reed is one of them, and justice in Canton / the Norfolk County business is another movement. And they're connected and they're tangential, but they are not the same movement. And that's what
And
she let me know. And that's
and
how,
there's one for Aiden.
yes, ma'am.
I mean, we can't forget Aiden, that
Definitely
he,
not.
for the same district attorney's office is being railroaded for, having a rolling rally. And, on what Kim said, like, I'm in healthcare. I've been a respiratory therapist for 27 years, worked in a level 1 trauma for years. Those injuries just don't match. And it was funny. I did my interview with Phelpsy. I got to interview with Phelpsy when he was, and it was like a 30-minute interview. And I told that to him. And the only thing he took out of my interview was when I talked about House Long to Die in the Cold, how stupid we all were for believing this House Long to Die in the Cold. Nothing about my experience in the medical field and why the injuries don't match. Nothing about any other reason. It was just focused on that.
Yeah, and I agree, Free Turtle Boy. When the things that the Better letters have uncovered has been a game changer, because these are things that he thought, that he alleged, and now there's proof of it. And thank God there's proof of it. And now, yeah, we're also going to defend Turtle Boy till the end, because
Michelle, you good girlfriend?
I am good.
Good. Okay. Just making
Is
sure.
that
I
a
am
sneeze?
just coming down. I think I'm coming down with that Brian LTL cold, where I'm not really sick, but I'm starting to, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll send Nurse Kim to your. She doesn't usually do house calls, but in this case
I do.
for Warriors, yeah, I mean it's possible.
I do. Every other weekend I do house calls. So yeah, if you need me.
Oh, okay, yeah, just play. Yeah, you guys can talk amongst yourselves. I also want to let people know here something I found out, that Melissa says it's a Giardia. No, Giardia is like coming in. It's coming out one end and it's coming out the other end when you get Giardia.
Oh, Jimmy.
And it's basically drinking from untreated water. When I was a kid, with streams, we used to drink out of streams all the time when I was in the woods. But these days, they tell me you don't do that. So anyway, I want to point out that our homegirl that is to Beatrice's left arm right there, named Jen, is also, in addition to all these other roles she plays, she's also a veteran of the United States Navy. So if somebody can just give me an amen for that.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I always get so awkward when people say that. Like, I cleaned teeth.
That's all. It
I
doesn't
wasn't
matter.
out.
Good service.
Out in the field.
Worldwide deployable, baby.
True.
I mean, and Navy deployments aren't short. I know I have a lot of friends in the Navy, and there's some, even on ships, some very long deployments. So,
Well,
yeah.
I was lucky when I was in that women didn't go on ships. We only went on tenders and hospital ships, and there
Okay.
weren't a lot of them. So now they're going on aircraft carriers. I got out. I got my DD-214 1 week before we bombed Iraq,
Wow.
which I was
in,
really thankful about.
1991?
No,
Or-
Iraq, 2000.
Oh, the second one,
Yeah.
2004. Okay, cool. Wow. Okay, because I joined during the other Iraq One during the Gulf Wars when I joined. So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's when I joined in 1992.
And then you end to 2004. Well, thank you so much for doing what you did. Doesn't matter what your what your specialty was, just that you went and you did the damn thing and you said, yeah, because you didn't know. Did you? I mean, it's not like you had that job guaranteed. You didn't know what you were
I
going to be doing.
did. I
You
did.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, they gave you dental right out of the chute?
Yeah,
Look at
before,
you,
right
girl.
after I took my MCAS.
Wow. Did you get the recruiter in some sort of an armbar and say, if I don't get a guaranteed job?
No, because you had to get a certain score on your MCAS, and then
Mm-hmm.
they could guarantee you a job. But if you're not guaranteed a job, then you're just going to be swabbing the deck on
Yeah.
a aircraft carrier somewhere.
Ship's company.
And I
Yeah.
wouldn't do that. So yeah, I got guaranteed. But I also had to sign for 10 years. So
Wow. That's a pretty big commitment, man. But thank you for doing the damn thing. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't
Michelle, is
have
there a way
guarantee.
that we can help you
Yeah.
like with your I know and I don't want to ask you any questions that is going to interfere with anything that you have
Right.
going on, but do you have I mean, this has profoundly affected your life since there was the
It has.
suspension and then, subsequent
Yep.
actions.
Yeah.
Do you have a GoFundMe? Do you have a Venmo? Is there any way we can send you anything?
My husband's going to run up here and throw his hands around my neck, but no. And that was actually one of the reasons that I didn't come forward. And that was the first thing when I did finally come forward and I met with Aiden. I had that information since October of 2023. And I'm watching all these hearings. Again, huge shout out to it, especially like Tom CPU, who covers on the ground every single hearing. I love him. And those like Melanie and others who show the hearings, because then I get to stay in touch and kind of keep on top of what is happening. But that was one of the things very first thing I said to Aiden was one of the reasons that I didn't come forward was that I didn't want that reaction. I didn't want, some of the comments after Kate Peters someone had leaked it from the court to Kate Peters. Kate Peters went on Facebook and snagged a photo and put it out there. And then we had all these little henchmen in the area where I live who were throwing it up on every city page that I belong to. And it was really, really hurtful and ugly for a while. But yeah, that was one of the comments that was out there was, oh, here goes another, because at that point they had done the fundraiser for Aiden and another one for Janelle. And someone made a comment, oh, here, this is another fundraiser that'll take away from Karen. And I immediately knew right away. That was my number one thing was I didn't want anything to take attention or funding or anything. I didn't want to take any resources away from Aiden and Karen. And I think I said that to you, DJ. That was one of the reasons why I've stayed away from the social media. I've stayed away from the YouTubes. I mean, I watch and I stay on top of everything that's going on. And I kind of pretty much know who's who. But I've stayed very low key because it was hard to deal with. This all happened while my father was dying. I had, my father had a stroke. I had been taking care of my dad for 7 years. And on Labor Day of 2023, he took a real bad turn. And at that time, he was, on and off life support from September until January. He actually passed 3 days after my birthday last year. So we're just about.
So sorry.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
So this was all going on while I was losing, my whole world was just literally shattered into a million pieces. I for the first time in my life, I needed mental health. I needed, I was having a mental health crisis, and I needed to seek help, which that was a first for me. That really rocked my world because, like DJ said, I've kind of been the, I don't want to say badass because I don't think I'm a badass or anything like that.
You are a badass.
Yes, you are.
No, really not.
Okay.
But my boss used to always. My boss used to always say I was like a dog with a bone because once I got on something and once I had a goal, I was not stopping for anything. And we worked together for over 20 years on missing children's cases here in the state of Massachusetts. And I just really am determined when I have a goal. So regardless, it was a really hard time and it took a really long time to recover from it. But
Yeah.
I don't want to have any, funding or anything like that. When we're ready, DJ mentioned probably in 2008 or 2009, I got together with a group of like-minded individuals who like to research law. And I'm a law school dropout, by the way. My goal was to be a lawyer. I fell in love with being an investigator because that was about finding the truth, not necessarily being the truth to fit a story or a case or whatever. Find the truth, turn it over, and you walk away. But I didn't, it was hard to go back to that after this all happened. So it's had such a profound effect on every part of my life. It's been crazy.
Well, and that's incredible. And thank you actually for feeling comfortable to like share that with us, because there have been a lot of incidences, but specifically in yours, that make sense where, somebody who's been a rock, right? A rock for your family, a rock for your employer, in your job, in your career, for everything in your life. And then in a one foul swoop, everything falls apart. And that happens in our lives, unfortunately, to some extent. But this was all at once, right? You can have dominoes that fall, but to have it all come at you like a tidal wave, and for you to recognize and say to yourself, I'm in a crisis right now, and to seek the help that you needed in that moment. That's so much bravery, Michelle, within you that you exhibited in order for yourself to say, I can't check out. I have to keep going, and I have to figure out how to navigate this, because it's overwhelming. I'm unable to do this alone. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I hope that anyone else that maybe you feel like everything is coming at you like a tidal wave, that you seek that help too, and just make sure that that you don't have to do it everything by yourself, that there is other options.
There is, and everybody needs a crutch. Whatever that crutch may look like, everybody needs a crutch at some point in their life. And I needed a crutch. I was really, like I said, I'm part of a legal group. We've been together for 15 years, and we do a lot of legal research. And as soon as this all happened, we all gathered, we went over everything. As soon as I got that package, of my disciplinary hearing that had all that information, with Jen McCabe's text to the DA's office and the DA's email to the clerks and the judges. And I had no idea any of that had gone on until 3 or 4 weeks after I had left the court. So it was just a wild time. Like, my friends will tell you, I was like tinfoil hat, wacky, out of my mind, crazy. People weren't allowed in my house with electric devices. You come in here, we're going to talk about this. You all have to leave your phones outside. Yeah. I was nuts. I was absolutely insane. We laugh about it now, but at the time it was a serious crisis.
Real. Yeah.
It's scary when they took Karen's phone last January 24th, and Mello doxed me, called me an attorney, and my friends are saying they're going to take my phone, and I'm getting texts from the dark side, and Plevin is tweeting out that I'm getting arrested. It's scary.
It's scary, Jen. It's scary. I've been there, and I was,
And you wonder who's following you or who's in your phone. I mean, I thought my cat got stuck. I thought my cat was missing, and I thought he was under my porch, and he had like a GoPro thing on, and it was a different cat. I thought the FBI had gotten my cat and had like put a GoPro on him. I mean, I really didn't, but I was like, this is crazy. But now
your mind gets in. Yeah.
You just don't know. Yeah.
I get it. Let me tell you, and I had worked as a PI for many, many years. I do a lot of post-conviction work. So people that have already been convicted of murder that we're trying to reverse their convictions. I work with some pretty scary folks, and never been afraid like I was in this situation. And I'm protected. I told DJ, it was the first time in my life. My kids are adults now, but it was the first time in my life I'd ever brought a gun into my house. We already had a security system. We beefed that sucker up like no tomorrow. You can't pass wind on my property without me knowing. So good luck to anyone coming here. And
Get
yeah,
them, girl. And that's what you do. And it's right. And it's
Yep.
like we have to protect ourselves in any
Yep.
ways that we can, right?
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I know that you guys can look back on it and say, oh, well, that was like some wild tinfoil hat shit I was doing. But at the time, babes,
Nope.
I just
Right.
want you to let yourself know, have some grace for yourself for
Yeah.
what the frig you had gone through. Okay.
It was
These are
crazy.
not normal situations. So our reactions to abnormal fuckery, okay, that is being done by our government, our local and state government, like it's not that out of the loop for you to be very, very afraid, uncomfortable, and honestly scared for oneself and one's family. So
family,
for when you're adding all of that in, plus the stress of every other gosh darn thing that had gone on, yeah,
Right.
yeah, you were near going to be dropping your basket. So
Yep.
at the end of the day, it's incredible that you had to seek the help that you did. And I hope that you're out of the woods and that you're
Oh,
able to
thank God,
feel
yes.
like, okay, I know where I'm going, and to just get like our compass, right? To get our compass right back to point true north, because sometimes we can get off of track, and it's not
Yeah.
our fault. It's the surroundings of what has happened, that we have no control over, but you had the control to seek, the answers, and you got them. And then you went forward to ensure that you were good and able to move forward effectively.
Yep. And that's exactly what I did. And I got lucky. It worked out well for me. I think there's some others that that maybe haven't been quite so lucky as I have. But anyway.
No, it's true.
I have something. I'm going to turn it back over to you ladies because you guys are really doing an awesome job. At
Yeah, you
running
can just
show.
take the night off, DJ. Take a nap. We'll
No,
be
I
fine.
will. I literally am going to turn it back over to you. I just want to relay a narrative that's tangential to what Michelle was just saying. And Beatrice knows this because we talked about it, but there's a former, okay, so in the UFO community, in the inside of the actual programs that are happening within the government, they will call people, contact people, and issue out life threats. Threats to where former military guys are really scared. And I know some of them personally that have been threatened and took it very seriously and came on YouTube and said, look, if something happens to me, I'm not suicidal, those types of things. So a couple of weeks ago, there was a guy named Jake Barber. I believe Beatrice has watched the whole interview. He was a former Air Force special operator that was undercover as an aircraft mechanic. And he has guys working for him from Delta Force, from Air Force Special Tactics, from Army Special Forces, etc. As a contractor to the government. And when he came out with this information, he told, the interviewer said at the end of the interview, and it was 2 hours and 47 or 2 hours and 49 minutes, he said to him, are you scared that they're going to, of threats and stuff like that? He goes, I'm not scared of the boogeyman. He said, I am the boogeyman. And then he said, well, I mean, are you afraid like they'll come to your house? He said, oh, come to my house? He goes, anybody comes and threatens me, be the worst decision they ever made in their life. And it was just like, he put that out there for all 3-letter agency guys, all contractors, that if you come to me, it's going to be the worst decision you ever made. I was like, that is a badass right there.
Right.
So, but I do know people that are genuinely scared, that are not people that aren't armed and not people that are weak, but that the powers that threaten them are quite scary. But when you get to the level of Jake Barber, and I'll share that interview with you if you like, Michelle, because
yeah, definitely,
it's absolutely fascinating. And then there's a couple guys that went on air and basically said, yeah, I know Jake Barber, I work for Jake Barber, and these are tier 1 special operators, not candy asses. We're talking about the real deal here. So anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to say that about being threatened. These guys in Canton and MSP are cupcakes compared to the type of people we're talking about that would work on behalf of the government and threaten people. So,
but to your average citizen like Jen and I,
Sure.
what you know what I mean? Who's got my back? Like if they coming after me because of my involvement in whatever happened, you know, who's got my back? So
Well,
it's scary. I will
It's me, sister. I got your back.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
it's all
I
of
will
us.
say this.
Yeah.
I'll come. I'll come for
I'll pick
Altman.
up Kim on the way. We'll come.
Anyone
We got
messes
this,
with
Kim.
Altman, she is now in my small group of IRL people that like I know, I mean everybody I talk to and I think are incredible. Everybody in this movement has, like you said, have such meaning in whatever it is that their contribution is, and they are so incredible. No matter who you are, your time, your energy, your effort, your boots on the ground, you being the Twitter Jupak Shakur, okay? Is just what people need, and you do it so well. But Jen Altman, you come for Jen Altman. She doesn't need me to do it, but I will come back, okay? And then I'm going to be a sassy pants, and you're going to have to see it. And I won't stop. I might I might stop for myself, but for her, for Jimmy, for Beatrice, okay?
Yes. Listen, I'm from Somerville. I got good all the way down.
Yeah, you come from Michelle, I'm coming for you. So cut the shit.
I'm all in as long as Jen Altman's got my back because she's rude.
She's not rude. She's an angel. She's an angel face. But if she has to be rude, she will.
I'll
Kim,
tell
can
you,
you re-
sometimes
I'd
she
like to
puts
get
stuff
back
out there,
to
and
the
I'm like,
days of Jen Altman was rude and away from all this other
Right?
nonsense that's
that
been
was
happening.
fun. Those were fun
I'm-
times.
I'm going to turn it back over to you guys because, like I said, you're doing a far better job with the show than I am. But, Kim, can you read this tweet? No? Kim's
Who?
frozen.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Kim,
said
you're the
tweet. You
girl
keep
from
calling them
Your
tweets.
Nurse
They're
Kim.
comments.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. Yes, I told Melanie Little. I'm writing my list for Josh Levy. What
Police.
police
police.
may want me unalived? Yup, I get it. Karen Donahue, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I was wondering if anybody knows who Karen Donahue is, or that could be. She said. Oh, here we go. Now I know you can say this, Kim, with an accent.
She's from Worcester.
She's from Worcester.
From Worcester, and we love her.
When are we getting another Colleen O'Neill and Nurse Kim? I mean, that's what I'm
Listen,
waiting
Colleen
for.
Colleen was away. She sent me. She was away for her birthday. She's another I think she's a Capricorn with us. Is she a Capricorn too? For the
I think
love
she's
of
a Capricorn
Christmas.
with us.
We have
Yep.
so many Capricorns.
Yes.
Michelle, what are you?
Aquarius.
Aquarius, still loved, lovies. So your birthday's coming. Oh, well, happy
DJ.
early birthday. Oh, okay. So, but she's away, right? And she's sending me private messages. And let me tell you that this woman, okay, is built like a brick shit house. And her in a bikini, I am like, I think to myself, I go, wood, okay, just wood.
Yeah.
I go, that is an interesting. I don't know what's happening here, but I like it. And she just is incredible. So she just got home. I hope that she had a magical birthday on an island wherever that she was with her love. And I hope we have one soon.
Oh, Michelle's birthday's tomorrow.
Yay!
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
We need a song for her or something. Let's dance. I think we need like a jam session here.
I know. I wanted a theme song when Jen came in with
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Can we do it to the feds? Can we do it to my song that I've been singing all day? I'll be looking fresh with them feds watching. I'll be looking fresh with them feds watching. I'm Giannetti, baby.
That was
If
the
I
first
could find it on
compliment I
YouTube.
got from Kim this morning.
I think I can find it on YouTube.
Toto. Oh my God. It's so good. I
What's
was
it
clean
called?
in the kitchen and I was like, ooh, yeah,
So-
just grooving.
There's this
Let me see
guy,
if I can find-
Giannetti. There's this guy, Michael Giannetti, who
Oh,
has kind of
Getting
been a
the phone.
thorn in Aiden's side for years.
Yeah.
And so there was a song he made up about Aiden, and he's talking about he played it on his show last night. It's so
It's not going to get copyright strike, and we need to dance. We need to have a little. This is our happy birthday to you, Michelle.
Share it.
It is
Yeah, share it.
Mr. Mike Giannetti. I be looking fresh while them
You can
feds
share it,
walking.
Kim.
Okay, this is
Yeah,
going
you got it.
to rock all of our socks.
Let's do it, man. Turn it up.
I've listened to it far too often. Okay, ready?
Ready?
TB's getting it.
What's this? I be looking fresh with them feds watching. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. New whip, yeah. Two dogs, Toto. All you doing is going buddy yellow brick motherfucking road. Sexual misconduct.
My kids are gonna kill me.
I be looking fresh with them feds watching. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. Yeah, two dogs.
Toto. Okay, sorry.
Dude,
Sorry, guys. That
Kim,
was
was that the first time you'd heard that last night?
no, babe, but it had never gotten into my head the way
Your
it
soul?
did. It was in my I was I'm not going to say touched by Giannetti because that could be a crime, but
That's
was
assault.
And
my
gross,
soul
kind of
felt-
gross.
felt those lyrics.
Oh my.
Nobody
well,
wants to be
hello,
touched
our
by
attorney.
Giannetti.
Oh my
Our
goodness.
attorney's
I don't know
also
how we
from
ended
Woodstock.
up down this road.
Because
Kim,
we were trying to happy birthday
Michelle.
you.
Kim, you could have shared it right on just the way you share it on your show. You could have just hit present and it would have come to the side of
Oh,
the
so
screen.
funny.
So you could just next time, absolutely, man. You could share it right on the show. Just you don't have to be like the host to do it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
hit
It's a
I
present.
desktop
from
DJ.
Aiden's show.
What's that?
I played it from Aiden's show.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So you had to find where it was at,
Yeah.
but yeah, just letting everybody know if you're a guest on here, you can present just like the host. There's no barrier to that. You can present just like I can. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Are you telling
Yeah,
me we
just
have
like-
a permeable membrane on
Yes.
on this StreamYard? How long have I been doing this? Since August. Never knew I could share something when I was on another
Yes.
human's thing.
Yes.
Well, you
Yes,
learn
just click
something new every day, babes.
Every day.
Yeah, darling. Just you click present at the bottom, just like you would if you're on your show, and then I think the interface is exactly the same. So yeah.
Thank you.
But anyway, again, I'm turning it back over to you. Oh, so let me just put in a plug. I know you're gonna have Colleen on. Like, you guys have absolutely no cause or need to come on the show, but I would love to have you guys on the show, and I'd probably just sit here like this for like 2 hours.
Drooling.
Colleen's the
Love
best.
Hot shit. She is the
She
funniest
is.
shit. I tell you, spin her up
Yes.
and watch her go. It is the best. I was like this. Swear to goodness gracious. I'm just sitting there and I go, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with this. Okay. This is magic. Lightning in a bottle, if you will. And she is one of one. I will tell you that. I think she's fantastic. I love Colleen.
I love that she's always laughing. I love that she just gets up and dances and she's just having a good time. And she knows how serious it is, but she knows how ridiculous it is too. The whole thing is just ridiculous.
Well,
She's
she'll
the
fuck up those
best.
boys in Canton, okay? All those cops, she's got their number. And I love that. That is what I love about her, is that she calls it out and she means business. I mean,
Yeah.
can you imagine 7:00 in the morning, she's opening up the goddamn shop and there's men coming to intimidate her. Well, you're not going to fucking intimidate
no,
Call.
no,
You're not gonna be with Marlene. She's not the one. You made a poor choice, okay? And she lets them know that out
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, remember the big deal I made last time you have her on? I was like, message you, Nurse Kim, that was the greatest thing ever. You've shifted the paradigm. It was like, that was Michelangelo's David right there. I mean, I loved it, man. I loved it. I literally remember where I was driving when I turned that on. That should tell you something. And I listen to a lot of YouTube. So,
She's the
anyway,
best.
keep going. Go ahead, Beatriz. You girls are doing good. I don't need to be in this. Oh, wait, here's another one. We got to get our second one in there.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Awkward. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you.
All right. Okay. If you guys are silent now, I'm going to have to come back in. And let's face it, nobody wants to hear me. Everybody wants to hear you guys. So, even
You know what? I have
Jen,
a question.
just like,
Jen,
what you got for me, DJ? You got something what you want to say to me, bro?
I have
Come
a
on,
question for Jen.
sure.
When all of that happened last last January, and your name was kind of blasted out there, and it was a big shit show. What happened? Was there a reaction? So for me, it happened so quick, and before I could even tell anybody what had happened, it was already out there on the internet. And I was very surprised. If nothing else, I learned who my friends were.
Yeah.
I learned who my real true friends were. And I wondered if you had that.
Well, I was on vacation and I was sitting with my boyfriend's elderly mother, visiting with her, and I started getting all these texts, nasty texts, mean texts, and I had no idea what was going on. And then, my friends are texting me saying, and I wasn't on Twitter at that time, so I had no idea what was going on. And finally, figured it out what had happened, and it was just a I had talked to Bradel before. He actually asked me if I was an attorney because of Altman and Altman, which is a legal
National. Yep.
practice in Massachusetts, in Boston. And I said no. And, he was under a lot of stress, and there was another woman who was helping Aiden, and she was the paralegal, and he misspoke. And he just said she's an attorney. He meant to say that she was a paralegal. And had he said I was a paralegal, none of this probably would have happened. But it was a long 2 days of waiting for that hearing with Judge Squires-Lee, where she, with the internet, and Mello couldn't bring it all into court. And as I was sitting on a beach listening to that, and I knew at that moment that it was fine. It was fine. Nothing was going to happen. It was a mistake. People make mistakes.
Yeah.
Just because Bradel's a lawyer doesn't mean he doesn't make mistakes. And,
Right.
I panicked a little bit, a lot.
Yeah, same.
But, I made a few mistakes, and, but it all worked itself out. And, the most important thing was that Aiden was okay, that he didn't lose his phone calls, that, Mello looked like an asshole, and, it worked out.
And
But I still get people. You told people you were an attorney. I never said I was an attorney, not one time. In fact, the jail called me and said, "Are you, you have these private calls," which there were 3 of them, not 600 of them. "Are you an attorney?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Oh, okay, you just can't have private calls." Okay. I mean, we're talking about our kids and the dog Ryder, and, our families, anything to keep his spirits up, not
right,
conspiring to intimidate anybody.
right. But at that point, they were just doing anything and everything to try to take Aiden down. So it was crazy.
It was crazy. It was crazy. I kind of stepped back a little bit after that, but then I was like, fuck that. I'm not letting them,
Yeah.
push me away from this.
Right.
And when you had that, Michelle, when like you realized who your real friends were, like, or like, I know that it's a sucky situation, but at the end of the day, doesn't it make you feel better that you're like, at least I know that the humans that are around me now, that these are my humans, right? Like that these are my people, and that I'm not going to waste my time or energy on people who don't have my back in good or bad times.
Right. And the people that grabbed onto that screenshot of Kate's post and shared it all over the city, it got to the mayor pretty darn quick, and she's a good personal friend of mine. And I live 20 minutes from the courthouse, and in that 20-minute ride, I had managed to notify my husband, and the mayor had called me immediately and said, "What happened?" And she knows how things are. She knows me personally. She knew that I wasn't gonna do something that would jeopardize my job or violate any policies or public records laws or anything like that. So she knew it was bullshit, and she knew I was getting set up. And I was lucky because there were a handful of people that were really coming at me hard, that had an axe to grind with me, that wanted to embarrass me. One of my daughters is kind of a public figure in the town, and people are jealous of that. So they, this was a way to get to her or to get to me and affect her. So it was a rude awakening, but and I think of this all the time because nothing I've gone through compares. And I said that, I actually sent an email to Melanie Little the other day, and that was one of the things I said. Yeah, I went through hell. Doesn't compare. It doesn't. And that's why I didn't come forward, because what I've been through doesn't remotely compare to being falsely accused of murder or being falsely accused of witness intimidation. It doesn't compare to Aiden living his life in a fishbowl. Every single thing he says and does is going to be used against him in some way, shape, or form. We've seen how they cherry picked things. You know, they've been really sleazy. You know, one of the things I pointed out to Meredith was they held that Canton 9 case open for what, 8-9 months? They wanted to make sure they got past the trial, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go back and look. Go back, and I worked there, so I know what that should be like. Go back and look at those notices that were released telling them that the case was dismissed. On the bottom left-hand corner where the date should be, it's whited out. They've completely whited it out. So that decision was made months and months and months before. However, because the clerk magistrate there is a sleazebag, in my opinion, and as corrupt as fuck and very involved in all this shit, and I'm going to say that now, probably, probably light a little fire over there, but I know from firsthand experience how they try to control people with their actions, and that's wrong. I'm sorry, but that's wrong. You don't get to use your power as a clerk magistrate to control people, to hold something over their head for almost a year to control their behavior and their actions. There's something wrong with that.
Hey, let me jump in here for a second. Crazy Brazilian lady Helen, I know you and I are friends, but
Oh no, I want to answer it. DJ, pull it up.
I want to say something first before, and then you can answer it. Nobody comes in here and has anything negative to say about my guests, we kick you out. I'm not going to kick you out because you and I are friends. So I just want to make that clear.
I'll pull it up.
I want to make that clear. I'll pull it up. All right, here it is.
We'll read it and we'll talk because I can. So Crazy Brazilian lady said, Nurse Kim, what do you have to say to us about when you and Auntie Deb ganged up on JFK? Did you only apologize to him because he spoke up on his show? So no, Crazy Brazilian lady, I did not just apologize because I was on a show or he's mentioned it on his show. What happened is that I went onto another stream with OB and with Uncle Frank and with Jimmy and with myself and Miss Parks. And there were some comments made that I laughed at. And it was about Ozempic, and I didn't expect it, and I laughed instinctually. There was some hurt feelings that came from Jimmy's side during that time that he had felt slighted by something. But I'm not somebody who's going to go out and intentionally hurt anybody ever. And I would not apologize to somebody just because I got on with JFK and with James and definitely tried to clear the air immediately. As soon as it was brought up that offended them and hurt their feelings deeply, I was horrified. I never want to hurt anybody. So I talked to JFK on the show. I've spoken to him since then. Me and James are very good. And I think that we're, very friendly with one another. And so, yes, did I make a poor decision? Absolutely. Was I not accountable to anybody? No. Did I double down? Did I say like, F somebody's feelings? Never.
Right.
And if I did not, if I wasn't sorry, or if I didn't feel that way about it, I would have not, tried to end the situation in the way I did. And I do feel terribly. I feel bad that the feelings got escalated like that. And I don't want it to ever happen again. So in my opinion, I'm not here to hurt anyone at any point. If I have hurt anybody, I will take accountability for anything that I've done in my life. But at the end of the day, like Michelle just said, I'm not persecuted, and none of us technically are that are creators, right? Because I'm not facing a murder charge, right? So
Right.
when all of this shit is going on with us, just take a step back and say maybe, hi, I'm not freeing Karen Reed right now by you know,
High school drama.
entertaining stuff that is not relevant. Additionally, I'm not Turtle Boy. And Turtle Boy, at any moment, while he's still going through his own court stuff, and will never go back to jail again. Because why? He's got children, and he will not do that. So for any fuckery that is occurring on the periph, he doesn't have the bandwidth, okay? Do I answer things the way that Turtle Boy does? Absolutely not. Not my style. But do I have his back? Absolutely. Do I have Karen Reed's back? Absolutely. And I have since day one, and I will till the end. So I have never said I'm a perfect person, and I can't be that for anybody. But what I can do is acknowledge when I've had, you know, missteps, and just try to be the best person that I can be personally every single day. And I apologize that I have offended you by that, but we have been good, and we have been good for months now.
This was
Yeah,
months ago?
Amen.
And
Somebody
yeah, and
brought
I
it
want to
up?
say that
November.
I want to say that that's one of the things that I like about Nurse Kim, is that, and I know she's probably sick of me saying things I like about her, but yeah, she's dipping down in her seat. But her values happen to be consistent with mine, and calling all beings long before I was involved in true crime and free Karen Reed. Is that, you know, we don't attack people, we don't attack people in the chat, we don't attack content creators, we don't attack anybody on this show. That's not what we're trying to bring a sense of positivity into whatever it is that we're doing. And Nurse Kim lives that. You know, you watch her show, I mean, that's what she does. So yeah, I'm sorry that you had to answer that on here, because that's not normally something that would make it into the chat, and it did make it into the chat.
No problem.
And I know her, and I'm disappointed that she brought that up in my show. She could just email you if she wants to ask you that question.
Well, and it's no problem, DJ, either. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's okay. Like, that's
Yeah,
not,
but
you know,
I
yeah, it's a
apologize
little,
that
you know, it's a little snark, and I can
Yeah.
have a little snark. I'm totally okay
Okay.
with having that. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'll answer it, you know, and that I'm not, again, guys, none of us are infallible, right? Like, none of
That's
us are
true.
perfect. So I don't know. All I can tell you is that I do the best that I can, and that's it.
Yeah, and I mean, the support here, I mean, if you just go through the chat, is just outstanding, you know, for all that. And I want to say, Tori from
Your sweater. I didn't
think
even
this is
see your sweater.
my
That is
oh,
everything. Look at
Oh.
Michelle.
And can I just say something, DJ, too?
yeah. Where's
The
where's
thing
my
is
friend
that
Jen?
we're all kind of winging it here. There's no script for this. Everybody's just doing the best they can, helping out where they can. And, you know, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to hurt somebody's feelings. But like Nurse Kim said, she addressed it right away. It was squashed,
We
moved on.
apologize.
That's it. So, you know, we're also, there's no script for this. We're just winging it here. So we're doing the best we can. And, you know, at the end of the day, we know our purpose. And that's why when there's little things going on in the movement, the intentions for me is what matters. You care about Karen Reed, you care about freeing an innocent woman, and that's all I care about.
My
Yeah,
phone
that's what-
died. Sorry.
Not, it's okay, Mom.
She's so
I
cute.
We're
had
glad
no
you're back.
idea that it used so much juice.
I could imagine. I mean, streaming. I could imagine. I haven't streamed on my phone on the battery, but I could imagine that would do it.
I'm plugged in
I
now.
want to answer Tori here from Australia, because she asked me, can I do an Australian accent? So I'm a big fan of MotoGP, which is basically the Formula One of motorcycles. It's a world sport as opposed to just, you know, a US based thing. And there's some Australian riders, so I will work on my Australian and try to bring it here. But for me to try to do an Australian right now, I don't think I would sound good. I think Kim would laugh at me, and she'd probably never come on again. So Sherry's telling me that Brazilian lady was timed out. Yeah, and I could talk to her. I actually have her number after the show. But but the mods did what I told them to do, which is if anybody gives beef to anybody in the show, that you block them or in this case time them out. So thank you, Sherry, for doing that, and I'll call her later and we can have a one-on-one. But man, I'll tell you what, man, you guys killed this damn thing tonight. And Tori, I'll work on the Australian accent for you. I just don't want to do a crappy one, even though people in the chat will say it's crappy, even if it's kind of good, right, Beatrice?
Yep.
Yeah, thanks. Good endorsement there. Okay.
Yeah. Always.
Kim, what did you sign up for, man? What kind of ridiculousness did you get yourself into tonight? You and Jen and Michelle.
We love it, DJ. We love it and we appreciate it. And I just wanted to say to Michelle, is this the first show that you've ever come on?
Yes.
Okay,
I know.
well,
I didn't want to say anything about being a virgin, but I was so glad that it was Jen's first too. So we both,
DJ, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this, but so block your ears, okay? But like, he had 2 virgins on the show tonight, and on his show, you lost the V card. So listen, you women are impressive. Jen, I love everything about you. I thank you for being my friend. I thank you for being a powerhouse. I thank you for being a bad mamma jamma, okay? And a hottie patati, okay? Because that's what you are, babe, okay? Your hair is everything, and I live for you. Michelle, I wanted to say to you that I know that you won't accept anything, all right? And I get that. But if you can accept our love and our support, and us just like checking in on you, because you deserve all of that. Your eyelashes are everything, babe. Okay. And I just wanted to tell you that you are a pleasure, and I'm so glad that I got to meet you as just a little friggin' broad from Merrimack Valley. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me come on. Beatrice, stop it. Okay, you are the MVP. We all know it. Okay. And
I'm just another broad from the MV also.
Hey.
Just saying, hey girl.
Together.
Yes, we do.
And like it's a pleasure to be on with you tonight. And I literally love your face. I do. And I think that like you showing up, showing out all the time for everybody that you do means a lot. And DJ, you sassy, bald son of a gun. No one does it better than you in sunglasses. And that is all. Okay. I have bid you adieu. You are the best people. Thank you for calling all beings. Thank you for all human beings. And we all do the best that we can. Let's show some grace and love for each other as much as we can.
Kim, we are about to piece this out. So let us piece it out as a group. But before we leave, we just have to say hello to Nick Rocco, because he's another guy with great hair. So party people, put your hands together.
Nikki Haircuts. How are you, sweetheart?
Nikki, we're not talking to you because I didn't win.
What's up, Nick Rocco? How's it going, homie? Yeah, I did. I contacted Nick. I want to get you and your hair and your wife on this show. So come on, let's do this damn thing. And let's talk, and just make me jealous, man. Just you being on here is going to have a great effect.
They are a gorgeous couple. Beautiful. They
sure are.
Beautiful.
All right. They are really. That was my thought when I saw from the gala. She's saying Nick. So one of my mods timed Nick out again. I don't know how this happened. 2 shows in a row, he comes in and people time him out. I don't know how this is happening.
It's because he's a freshly Le Pew. He gets a little. He gets the juices flowing, but he means it. He's joking.
Sassy.
He's joking, but
sassy.
Yeah, sometimes it can come off a little.
To the mods, don't time out Nick Rocco when he comes on the show. Don't time out Nick Rocco. I'll say it 3 times. Don't time out Nick Rocco. All right. I want to thank you, Beatrice, my co-host and co-collaborator, Nurse Kim. Jen Altman, it was awesome speaking with you.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
It was an honor to have you. Michelle Littlefield, you're another one that threw some honor at me, and I look forward to speaking with you. And Nurse Kim, I'll see you in the chat, okay? In the DM.
Okay.
All right.
Chat later, babes. Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
mods.
Read.
And
Good night.
thank you
Free
very
Karen
much.
Reed.
All right.